The honourable member from Tignish Palmer Road, the Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The PI Energy Strategy, which was released in 2017, stated that a new 30 megawatt wind project was proposed to take place in 2019. We now know that this project will take place in Eastern Kings at their wind farm, but we are now 6 months into 2020 and it remains to be seen whether this expansion will actually take place. Question to the Minister of Transportation, Infrastructure and Energy. Last fall we heard that the plan was set, although steps in the public process have yet to be taken, such as municipal, federal and provincial, federal assessments and approval. Can you provide us today with an update on this project?
The Honourable Minister of Transportation, Infrastructure and Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So we're still working our way through the process. The environmental assessment is still being completed. We're waiting for the results from that. As far as our other planning goes, we have all of our plan in place. Really nothing has changed since last year. We have 95% of the landowners signed on, and all the landowners in that area are quite happy with the situation. We've been in constant communication with the council up there as far as what the plans are. So currently we just sit and wait until the process finishes itself out, and hopefully we'll get to construction after that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member from Tignish Palmer Road, Deputy Speaker, your first supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Also in this document was a 40 megawatt project that was proposed with the date for 2025. As of now, the project site has not been identified. Minister, is this project still expected to take place?
The Honourable Minister of Transportation, Infrastructure and Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So it is still scheduled to take place. It's still on our long-term plan. I think that we need to look at maybe how we do projects. It'll not be going to Eastern Kings. I can pretty well tell you that 100% sure. We have to look at how we are working our windmills, and quite frankly, I think that when we talk about the community aspect of it, I'm much more interested in how we can make community-based projects and how we have community involved from the ground level. So that's kind of the approach that I'm hoping to take when we move forward. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member from Tignish Palmer Road, Deputy Speaker, your second supplementary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We learned in 2018 that Skinner's Pond was being considered as a potential site for the next wind farm project, that ultimately went to Eastern Kings. So, the question is the same, Minister. Skinner's Pond is an area that has been looked at for a number of years by private developers. Landowners are excited about this. The community is excited about this. Will you today commit to the community that they would be the recipient of the 40 megawatt project scheduled for 2025?
The Honourable Minister of Transportation, Infrastructure and Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That's a big ask for the budget day, but just kind of so the member is right. Skinner's Pond was one of the two spots that were looked at. In the end of the day, Eastern Kings went out because the transmission line had been built there, and there's a substation that's owned by the Energy Corporation that's right there, so it fit better into what the infrastructure that we had. So for Skinner's Pond, there has to be an upgrade in infrastructure to make that happen. I'd certainly welcome having a conversation, and I know recently I've been getting a lot of emails from residents of the area asking that we give them serious consideration. Love to have a conversation about how the community could benefit and how we could make it a community-based project, but if you'd like to be part of that conversation with Skinner's Pond, I'd be more than happy to go up and have that conversation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Member from Charlottetown, West